And we head now to the Xfinity Mobile call-in line and bring in a beloved former colleague, Matt Schneidman, who covers the Green Bay Packers for The Athletic. Matt, how you doing? Oh, we lost you.
Can you guys
we got
hear
you
me?
now.
Am I good?
What's up, Matt?
I am live from the lobby of Lambeau Field. I can't see
Big
quite
flex.
up to Shawn Mannion's office right now, or maybe his former office, but I appreciate those kind words, Bo. I always say, and I know I've told you this before, my highest ranking story, if you will, the story that got read the most in my now 7 years at The Athletic was an idea stolen from you when I believe you did the Josh McCown name everybody
That's right.
who he threw a touchdown pass to, and then I did it with Aaron Rodgers in my first year on the beat in 2019, and he took it and ran with it. So I appreciate you for allowing me to still have a job here.
Well, now we're even. This is good. The bill has come due, so I appreciate that. What are you doing in the stadium right now?
Yeah, well, as you know, this time of year for us NFL-only beat writers is kind of boring. And instead of just sitting in my house, the Lambeau Field atrium is open 365 days a year.
Wow.
Not 24/7, but it's just a nice public area where I just come to get some work done instead of sitting in my house.
Wow. And you like hope to happen upon news. That's kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I hope not to happen upon news today.
Yes. So Shawn Mannion is a mystery box to us, right? And 2 years as a coach, and even this year as the first year as quarterbacks coach in terms of like designing the offense. What are we to expect? Because you've got Matt LaFleur, you've got an offensive coordinator, you got a passing game coordinator all above him. So what do you know about like what level of influence Shawn Mannion had?
Yeah, I think you can just look at the growth and development of not just Jordan Love, but also Malik Willis this year. It was on some of those short weeks where Shawn Mannion was really tasked with getting Malik Willis up to speed, and he's part of the reason. I know LaFleur gets a lot of the credit, but Malik Willis is probably going to sign a contract that's like 2 years, $40 million in free agency this offseason. And you could tell from the second Matt LaFleur interviewed Shawn Mannion during the 2023, I believe, NFC Championship game between the 49ers and Lions that he thought highly of him. I brought up my story I wrote from a while back just to prep for this, and Shawn Mannion was in Chicago interviewing for a role on the Chicago Bears staff, and Matt LaFleur said, after you're done there, you should come up here to join my staff, just because Shawn Mannion was so well prepared. He stopped playing after the 2023 season, and even while he was still in the league, that summer before the 2023 season, during his time off over that summer break, he was studying game plans, learning how to draw up plays on technological parts of his repertoire. And he's been around, as you guys know, a lot of guys like LaFleur, Sean McVay, Zach Taylor, Kubiak, Kevin O'Connell. He's really learned from a lot of the brightest offensive minds in this league. And, some of his former teammates even. I know the guy you guys know, Chris Long, was saying that, he was a great teammate, and you could tell he was a coach. Other people have said that. So I think you could see this coming in Green Bay in terms of Shawn Mannion getting a job, and obviously he's stepping into a very pressure-packed environment there in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Matt, about the work that Shawn Mannion did with Malik Willis. So, being around Shawn Mannion and being around some of those guys, Malik in particular, is there anything specific like that, that you would attribute to Shawn Mannion's coaching style? Any like fundamentals or anything about quarterback play that you think he harps on more than most?
Yeah, and I know it's cliche, but it's the footwork. And Shawn Mannion told us this past year, or it might have been the year before. No, it was this past year. That when he was Jared Goff's backup in 2017 with the LA Rams, Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator there. And something that Shawn learned from Matt was just the importance of footwork. And when we talked to Malik Willis this year about his growth from that failed, for lack of a better term, Titans high draft pick to a guy who's probably going to be a starter in the NFL next year, the prevailing answer was Malik Willis got his footwork down. And Matt LaFleur said just staying on balance and on rhythm helped him be so much more accurate. And I think a lot of that credit probably goes to Shawn Mannion for taking what he learned from Matt LaFleur back in 2017 and then using it now to make Malik Willis a starting caliber quarterback in this league. But I pulled up a I searched Shawn Mannion in my Google just to see, or my Gmail just to see what Matt LaFleur, the last thing he said about him was. And he was asked on January 2nd about the job Shawn Mannion had done. And LaFleur said, unbelievable, great job. He's been awesome. He's got a bright future in this profession, definitely attacks it the same way I knew he would when he was a player. Extreme ownership of everything, puts in the extra time, just goes above and beyond the call of duty, which is exactly what you want from your assistant coaches.
Don't you just love a beat writer like email transcript search? Oh, that is close to my heart, Matt. That is like so resourceful. And when I lost my transcripts, when I switched jobs, it crushed me.
Do you think Matt LaFleur regrets saying that so publicly? Like, dude, how caught off guard are they by losing him this early?
I don't think they're that caught off guard.
Okay.
I think you could tell by the way Matt LaFleur talked about him that he knew he was going to be a fast riser in the business. And quite frankly, people in Green Bay I have seen online say, well, why didn't the Packers fire Adam Stenavich, their current offensive coordinator, to promote Manion? Well, you know, technically Matt LaFleur could block Shawn Mannion from interviewing with the Eagles if he promoted him, but Matt LaFleur has shown in the past he wouldn't do that. I can't remember any specific instances, but you don't call plays in Green Bay if you're the offensive coordinator, because LaFleur does. So
Right.
Shawn Mannion was leaving regardless. He wasn't getting the head coaching job here. So although some people might have wanted him to, I think they could see this coming, and this was not going to be a long stay for Manion in Green Bay.
How about just his sort of presence in front of the room, in front of the team? What should Eagles players expect from Manion on that front?
Yeah, they make the assistant coaches, so not the coordinators, but like the position group assistants, available to us once every other week. So we talk to Manion once a month.
Hold on a second. Let
my
EJ
goodness.
just
Oh, man.
just take the loss here and suck that in, because that is tough to hear.
Haven't heard from some of these assistant coaches in months, Matt. Oh, man.
Yeah, we get we obviously, as is the case anywhere, we get LaFleur 5 days a week, and then the coordinators once a week, and then the offensive assistants once a month, defensive assistants once a month. So we talk to Manion once a month this season, and he seems to have a really good head on his shoulders. He's one of those guys, and you guys mentioned Kellen Moore. There have been other guys in this league who are those journeyman backup quarterbacks and never really made a name for themselves as a starter, but they know the game so well because it was their job every week to prepare the starter. And Shawn Mannion said that he jokes with his wife, when the season came around, he would spend more time with the starting quarterback on whatever team he was on, whether it was Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins, who he's really close with, than he would his own wife. And you could tell when Shawn Mannion's at the podium that he knows what he's talking about. He has command of a room, and I think he's going to go over well there in Philadelphia without knowing too much of the dynamics of that locker room. But I think it'll go over well.
This is an impossible question to answer, and it's also a very difficult one for us to figure out from the outside. But like, to what degree should we ascribe the Matt LaFleur offense to Shawn Mannion? Like, as we're trying to think about what he's going to import, like, do you have any sense of how much he believes in that philosophy versus the other places that he's been? Although there is obviously similarity between a bunch of the crossover.
Yeah, obviously the similarity is I think, I forget what year exactly he came into the league, but his first exposure,
15, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, because then when did McVay get the LA job?
I think
but
his third year is when McVay gets there, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he has a lot of background in kind of that similar offensive scheme. He just hasn't been with Kyle Shanahan yet, but a lot of time with LaFleur and McVay, but he has some other influences too, and I'd imagine he's going to bring some of his own ideas as well. So I'd be lying if I said I know exactly how much of that Matt LaFleur offense he's going to be bringing to Philly. I know that's not exactly what the Eagles have run, but I'd be interested to see if he puts his own spin on it. I was surprised. I got a hunch that Shawn Mannion was going to go be Jeff Hafley's offensive coordinator in Miami. So I know he obviously ended up hiring Bobby Slowick, but yeah, I'm interested to see kind of the spin Shawn Mannion puts on it in Philly.
Yes, I think maybe even the professor himself will tell you that Eagles fans are expecting Packers fans to not so much enjoy the Jonathan Gannon experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I can guarantee you will not enjoy the Jonathan Gannon experience.
Yeah,
let me just give you some advice right now. Please do not fall for the trap that some of the beat writers here fell for when Jonathan Gannon convinced them all that he was smart. Okay, do not fall for that. I make a living in the profession of like seeing through that, and I can tell you that I was trying to tell them all then that is not the case. So whether he invites you to his house for a nice dinner or whatever, like go eat the food, enjoy it.
I didn't.
But
get
all
that
of that schmoozing, like let me just tell you, Jonathan Gannon. I mean, just let me tell you right now, like he is not what he is going to try to make you think he is.
Boy.
He's good on the podium, Matt. You'll be happy with him on the podium.
Quite the introduction.
Oh, I love
there.
that escalator shot. That's great.
Yeah, this is such a flex, man.
I love this. Do you think, Matt, is there any sense that the Packers view this stealing Shawn Mannion as retribution for the tush push discourse put forth by Mark Murphy?
It's retribution for the tush push discourse, of course. I think, and I think we're all expecting it to get banned this offseason.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the Eagles would like it to get banned
I
too.
think the Eagles would love to have the excuse of not having to run it anymore. Yeah,
They didn't run it as well this year, but yeah, I think the retribution for that was coming in here and beating the Packers 10-7 in one of the most painful football games I've ever had to watch earlier this season.
All right.
I have a serious question for Matt, if it's okay. By the way, Matt, I'm Dennis. Nice to meet you virtually.
Hey.
In Shawn Mannion's first year, when he was an entry-level offensive assistant, Tom Clements was the quarterback's coach above him, and I heard him talk a lot about the influence that Clements brought. And for those who don't know, Clements, I mean, he retired at age like 71 or whatever it was, decades of experience in the West Coast system, coached Brett Favre, et cetera. I'm curious if you think that will have an influence on the way that he's an offensive coordinator, or if it's more just like a, learning how to run a QB room type stuff, like in terms of schematic stuff.
Yeah, you saw my eyes wandering because I have my story up here from last offseason, and I'm pulling up the quote Shawn Mannion gave us about working under Tom Clements.
This is great beat writer work here. This is fantastic.
Let me see if I can find it. But as you said, Tom Clements obviously coached Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love, and Shawn Mannion learned under him. And Aaron Rodgers used to always say, Tom Clements, let's see if I can remember them. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. The 3 cardinal rules of playing quarterback is no blind throws, no late throws over the middle, and no predetermined decisions. So those were definitely passed down from Tom. I think I got those.
That's
were
great.
Passed down
Yeah.
from
I love that.
I think
Tom
Jalen
Clements.
will be fully on board with the first 2, but I don't know about the third one. The third one might be a new thing for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he learned a lot from Tom Clements, just how to go about the job of being a quarterback's coach. And as I mentioned, the footwork was a huge part of that. I lost the quote. Okay, here it is.
I love that.
Jesus.
Late throws
where
over the middle
is
is that's a very smart.
late throws over the middle, no predetermined reads, and no throws across your body, I think it was. Okay, I have no idea where this went. Oh, okay. So I wrote, Manion called Clements a great mentor for him in the picture of stability, always even-keeled while juggling all the teaching points of the quarterback position. Clements would always emphasize fundamentals, and Manion was constantly taking notes while thinking about when his turn in Clements' role would come. So that doesn't exactly tell you a whole bunch. It was your standard off-season story, but I think just seeing how Clements coached guys like Favre, Rodgers, and Love, and then taking that into his own role and having great success and helping Jordan Love become, I would say, a top 5 quarterback in the league this season, and then helping Malik Willis become a starter. Jalen's obviously already accomplished more than a lot of guys in his career, or a lot of guys ever will. But I think Eagles fans can take some solace in kind of what Shawn Mannion has done, even though he's only been here 2 years.
Last thing before you go, Matt, the chat is very curious. What is the logo on your hat?
Oh, this is actually good because gives me a chance to plug the podcast I do with John Kuhn, Packers legend. It's called The Tundra, and this is Russell Nicolay, who is the head of Nicolay Law, which is an injury law firm here in Wisconsin, and they are our presenting sponsor, and I just kind of wear the hat, but
Nice.
they gave it to us because they sponsor our podcast.
I was
Good
gonna ask Matt for like some feature ideas here,
that's a good
but
idea.
I know that his colleague Zach Berman is now in the chat, so I'm gonna hold off.
I can't do that to
Don't want
Zach.
to give him an advantage there.
Zach has a Jonathan Gannon, radar. Like as soon as I said Gannon, Zach's phone started buzzing.
Is he actually in the chat?
He
Yeah,
is.
he is. He's upset about Deniz's Gannon rant here.
It's a long-running debate between Zach and me. So
Well,
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to chatting with Jonathan Gannon. I'll tell him you said that to see what he. I'll be like Dennis said, you are a fraud and a fake. and
please,
a phony."
please.
I would honestly be surprised if that hasn't already trickled down to him at some point. Matt, thank you so much. Everybody, check Matt out on The Athletic, and if you are Packers inclined, check out that podcast.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, guys.